Let me tell you about one of the worst technical decisions I've ever made in my career. It's gotta be like top three. So we was building a new SaaS product on top of the service that we had. What does the product do? It doesn't really matter. What's important to know here is that the data for the service was kept on spreadsheets. We wanted to put an interface on top of that data so users can sign up and start interacting with each other, and we also wanted to support the admins who were adding data into the spreadsheet. And here's where everything started to go downhill. Because we had a small team, I decided to save on the engineering cost by using Airtable. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with using Airtable. There's a lot of people who built their products on top of that. The problem here was that we also had our own backend. Now, you run into issues of what is the source of truth. This was a couple of years ago, so this was before Airtable webhooks was a thing. So we wrote a script to sync the Airtable data into our own backend database. It was working fine initially, great even, okay? And the plan was always that we were gonna move off of Airtable eventually. The problem was that it worked too fine, okay? It's been 3.5 years and we still haven't moved off of that. We got some users and they started doing things on the platform, and that data needed to sync back into Airtable. So now we got a two-way sync. And not only that, we told the admins not to do too much on Airtable because any of that data needs to be custom synced back into our system. Well, Airtable has a lot of plugins and extension, a lot of convenience features that allows you to do a lot. And it's just too tempting not to do that when you're trying to get your work done. So all these admins that came in started adding, forms here, adding new sheets here, new tables here. And now we just have this big clustered, coupled, jumbled mess that we had to two-way sync back to our database. So even though we did save on the initial cost, the maintenance, the headaches, the disruptions came and slowed us down eventually. So there's a couple of lessons here, and it's not to not use Airtable. Airtable is great. The first lesson is if you're going to allow a system to be used that you do not control, don't give it out to your admins. Don't give it out to people who want to do crazy things. You need to control that. And it means extra operational work, even though it's not within your system. And number two, you need to explicitly have a plan on how to move that system back into your platform. We didn't really have a plan. We always kind of said, yeah, we're going to move that over. We got to eliminate it. But it grew into this huge mess that, we didn't want to tackle it until we had time, and we never had time. Anyway, maintenance is a bitch. Always think about it. Hope that story was entertaining. Bye.